Hello there, Ryan.
What's up, girl?
I need help with biology homework. I don't understand cellular respiration.
Okay, I can try to help you with it. So it starts with glycolysis, right? First let's review what redox reactions are. Do you understand the concept?
Redox reactions are also known as oxidation-reduction reactions. They are reactions in which electrons are transferred. The loss of electrons is called oxidation and the gain of electrons is called reduction. This can be remembered by the acronym OIL-RIG. Oxidation is lost, reduction is gained.
Great. So let's move on. There are three main stages to cellular respiration: glycolysis, pyruvate oxidation, and oxidative phosphorylation. Glycolysis occurs in the cytosol and breaks down a 6-carbon glucose into two 3-carbon pyruvate molecules. The other products of glycolysis are 2 net ATP and 2 NADH.
Okay, I understand all of that. But what happens afterwards?
Once pyruvate is formed, the cell either begins the transition into the citric acid cycle or it begins fermentation. This depends on whether there is oxygen present or not. If oxygen is present, pyruvate is oxidized and converted into acetyl coenzyme A.
Does the transition step have any products? I think it does. I just can't seem to remember them.
Besides acetyl coenzyme A, carbon dioxide is also released and NADH is also formed.
So to recap, 2 molecules of pyruvate are made per each glucose molecule. The pyruvate then enters a transition step where it is converted into acetyl coenzyme and produces NADH. Why is the transition step necessary?
Without the transition step, glycolysis would not be linked to the citric acid cycle. Active transport is required for certain molecules to enter the mitochondria.
Oh, I understand now.
Awesome. So here are the steps of the citric acid cycle. 1. Acetyl coenzyme A adds its acetyl group to oxaloacetate to produce citrate. 2. Then citrate is converted to its isomer, isocitrate.
I know this. Step 3. Isocitrate is oxidized, reducing NAD+ to NADH. This results in the loss of a carbon dioxide molecule. 4. Another molecule of carbon dioxide is lost and the resulting compound is oxidized, reducing NAD+ to NADH. Coenzyme A is now unstable in its bonding.
Let me finish off the process. 5. CoA is displaced by a phosphate group, phosphorylation, and GDP is transformed into GTP. This can be used to regenerate ATP. 6. 2 hydrogens are transferred to FAD to form FADH2 and oxidizing succinate.
Wait. I am confused. So far the cycle has produced 2 molecules of NADH and 1 molecule of ATP? Is this when the addition of water alters the bonds in the substrate? This would lead to the oxidation of the substrate and the reduction of NAD+ again, wouldn't it? Then, oxaloacetate would be regenerated and the process would start again.
You're getting the hang of this. So overall, each turn of the citric acid cycle produces 1 molecule of ATP, 1 molecule of FADH2, and 3 molecules of NADH.
Ah, that makes everything clearer. I understand the rest of cellular respiration. Now we start the process of oxidative phosphorylation.
So far we have only looked at processes which produce ATP through substrate-level phosphorylation. Only 4 ATP were produced. Oxidative phosphorylation produces around 90% of all ATP.
Chemiosmosis occurs during oxidative phosphorylation and couples electron transport to ATP synthesis. The electron transport chain is embedded in the cristae of the mitochondria because the large surface area provides for greater production of ATP. Electrons are shuttled through proteins called cytochromes in the electron transport chain. While electrons are being shuttled, protons are simultaneously being pumped into the inner membrane space. This creates the proton gradient. The ETC makes no ATP directly. This is where chemiosmosis plays a role.
First let's provide some background info. ATP synthesis is an enzyme that produces ATP from ADP and inorganic phosphate.
ATP synthesis uses the hydrogen ion gradient across the inner mitochondrial membrane to power ATP synthesis. The proton gradient is also known as the proton motive force. When protons are pushed back across the membrane, ADP is phosphorylated to form ATP. Together, electron transport and chemiosmosis make up oxidative phosphorylation.
The entire process of cellular respiration results in the production of 4-ATP through substrate-level phosphorylation, and between 26 and 28 ATP through oxidative phosphorylation. Do you understand the process more now that we have gone over it?
Yes. Thank you so much. I am going to waste biology and hopefully Mr. Scott starts making his tests easier.